Never mind. Here it goes. Alrighty, it's recording. This thing either blinks and tweaks out for a second, or it doesn't. I didn't think it was going to, but it did. So Kody and I are here. By the way, hello Kody. How's it going, bud?
It's going good. Your camera's off though.
Again? God damn it!
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's probably on for everybody else, but
so does it?
Yeah.
So does it when I start recording? When I start recording, does it turn off, or was it off even before I started recording?
It turns off when you start recording, but like when I watch these videos, it's on for everybody.
Yeah,
but then
it's so weird.
Yeah, and then when you but then it's off for me. Then when you turn it back on, it's on for me and everybody. It's weird. Yeah.
Fucking technology.
Yeah.
It must be why I like the old music so much, especially 80s music.
Yeah.
Already, top 10 bands. This is hard. I did this a while ago on music board. I swear to God, I have changed this list about 1,000 times. It's tough. My top three have always kind of been my top three. My top four really have always been my top four. I really should say. And 5 through 10 was kind of molded over time. And I have a lot of honorable mentions. There we go. Dogs are barking. Parents are home. Anyway, let's do this, shall we? Top 10 bands of all time. Kody, number 10 for you.
Yeah. This list.
I'm gonna go check on the dog, so I'm gonna let you talk. Give me 1 second.
All right. So this list was really hard to make. There's a lot of great bands that made a lot of great songs, and I really love old school rock and metal from the 70s and 80s. So it's just so hard to do. But yeah, we did videos on studio albums, ranking studio albums, and that was a lot of fun. And we're planning on doing more. I think we're gonna do Judas Priest next, and probably ZZ Top after that, and we'll think of something else to do. It's really fun making these videos with Chase. Looking forward to doing the future review with Chase, Adam, and AJ. We're going to be doing a review together. I won't spoil the movie that we're going to review, but yeah, all four of us are going to do a video together pretty soon. And yeah, it's going to be fun. All right, he's back. You're
all right. There you go. How are we doing, everybody? How far did you get? Oh my God.
I haven't started talking about my list yet. I've just
okay.
Just talk about some other stuff we've been ranking studio albums, and
okay.
Plan on we plan on doing ZZ Top, Judas Priest pretty soon, and and I told the audience that we're gonna be doing a review. I didn't spoil the movie that we're gonna be reviewing, but
okay. Yeah,
I told them that we're gonna be doing me, you, Adam, AJ are gonna be doing review.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. We were supposed to do that review today, but Adam and AJ are special. They live on the East Coast and the Midwest, and they're special.
Yeah.
So already, sorry about that, everybody. Number 2, good sir. Or number 2. Jesus Christ. We're recording this at 10 o'clock at night. He's been doing shit all day. I've been with dogs all day. Number 10, not number 2. Holy crap. Number 10,
right.
good sir.
My number 10 is Pink Floyd.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What I'll say about Pink Floyd is that they're a really unique band. And the thing I really like about this band is that they're a rock band, but they're also a blues band as well. They mixed rock and blues together perfectly, and it's just they make some relaxing music, and they make some good rock songs too. Like "Run Like Hell" is probably my favorite Pink Floyd song from the Wall album. Yeah, that's a great song. And it's it's a very like hard rock song too as well. So yeah. Love Pink Floyd. It's my number 10.
I like Pink Floyd a lot. As I've gotten older, I've gotten away from them, but I am pretty familiar with a lot of their music.
Yeah.
I definitely would like at some point to do their discography. If you would be up for that, that'd be fun. Yeah, those guys are very, very, very influential to modern day metal and rock for sure. They were definitely one of the 70s, 80s pioneers for sure. For sure. My number 10 is almost the outlier in my 4 through 10 because they're totally different than the rest of the bands on the list. My number 10 is Slipknot. I have been a fan of these guys since their 3rd album, and I have loved these guys since that album. Volume 3, the Subliminal Verses. This band is, well, I should say was, through their first 2 albums, in my opinion, at that point in time, the heaviest thing I had heard. And they are still to this day, those first 2 albums in particular, are the 2 angriest, pissed off albums I have ever heard in my life. The self-titled debut and Iowa are 2 of my favorite metal albums of all time. I would very, very, very I would be very, very, very hesitant, I should say, to put them in the new metal category. Like, yes, they have down-tuned guitars. Yes, in the early part of their career, they didn't have guitar solos. But if they were pretty much mainstream, like extreme metal, like they made extreme metal mainstream. I mean, Conan O'Brien, back when he was doing, I think it was his original show, whatever that was called. I don't remember what it was called back in the day, but whatever his original show was called, he had Slipknot on his show, and they played the Heretic Anthem. And if you know Slipknot, and if you know the Heretic Anthem, you know that that is totally not. Why is this acting like that? Okay, nothing's going on. My hat's just freaking out. Okay, come on. You know that that is totally not a Sound of Silence Disturbed cover. You know that that it's totally not radio rock. You totally know that it's not commercial rock. That song is a heavy, absolutely ridiculously hilarious mockery of commercialization in the music industry. And it's just hilarious that that band was on Conan at that time, especially how they looked when they were really into the crazy, when they had their first two cycles, their jumpsuits and the masks that they all wore. It was crazy. These guys are the pissed off band of my youth. I love Slipknot, number 10. Number 9. Good sir.
All right.
Are you a Slipknot fan at all? Have you heard any of their music?
Not really, but we could definitely do that discography though, and
That would
I
be
could try to
interesting.
get into them.
That
Yeah,
would be interesting.
yeah, because I've honestly never listened to a Slipknot song, so
Yeah.
it'll be interesting for
I
sure.
think we should maybe do Priest, ZZ Top, and then maybe do a couple other bands I'm going to talk about in here, and then
Uh,
maybe do Slipknot, because I kind of want to get you into the more heavier thrash side, and then kind of maybe get into Slipknot and stuff like that to kind of ease you in a bit. I don't want to go full death metal on you yet,
yeah.
and I think Slipknot would be a good intro, I would say, for you if you'd like them. That I would say, yeah, go for some death metal, go for some grindcore, and all that stuff. So, anyway, number 9, good sir.
My number 9 is ZZ Top. Yeah,
Love it, love it.
yeah,
Not surprised at all by your picks, by the way, and I'm happy. I kind of knew that they would be on here. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah. I love this band. The Eliminator album is one of my favorite albums of all time, and
Yeah,
I forgot to mention that Pink Floyd's The Wall album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time as well. Um, so yeah, ZZ Top. They're far and away my favorite Southern rock band. Like out of Leonard Skinner and all those bands.
yeah,
ZZ Top's my
yeah,
favorite,
yeah.
and yeah, they make a lot of great songs. And my favorite ZZ Top song is probably Thug. Thug's a
Mm,
great song.
that's
Yeah,
a
I
really good
love
song.
that
Yeah,
song. Yeah,
yeah, yep.
and yeah, it's my number 9.
Number 9 already. My number 9 is a band that I would like to do at some point in between now and Slipknot. Testament. They are a mostly Bay Area, like Exodus. They are a Bay Area thrash band. They honestly could have been higher on this list, but I think I have them pretty good at number 9. These guys are great. Um, I remember back in the day when I was not young, but like 9 or 10, 11. I literally couldn't tell the difference between James Hetfield and uh, Chuck Billy, the vocalist for Testament. I mean, they sounded pretty much the same at that point in time to me. And then as I've gotten older, I'm like, they really do sound similar, but there's just something about Chuck Billy's voice, man, where I'm like, he's got that same gruffness that Hetfield has, but it sounds better. I mean, it's a little bit rougher. It's a bit not nicer. I just like it more, if that makes sense. Yeah, Testament is a really, really, really fucking great thrash band. The main singer of Exodus, Steve Zetro Souza, that I talked about in the last vid, he was actually their original singer back in the day, when they were called The Legacy, and then they had to change it for some reasons, and they went with Testament, and that's when Zetro got the call from Exodus to be in Exodus after they fired Paul Baloff after their debut. Then they got Chuck Billy to come, and he's been the vocalist ever since. And Yeah, man, and just like Gary Holt in Exodus, Alex Skolnick is one of the best guitarists on planet Earth. This guy is that guy's kick ass. He's fantastic guitarist. And Eric Peterson is a very, very underrated rhythm guitarist. Also, I should say that. Yeah, number 10, Testament. Favorite song, Into the Pit. Love them. Love Testament. Number 9. Number 8 for you, good sir.
All right. My number 8 is the next band that we're going to be doing the studio albums for, Judas Priest. I love Judas Priest so much.
Mm-hmm.
Screaming for Vengeance, another one of my favorite albums of all time. Absolutely love this band. My favorite Judas Priest song is probably Turbo Lover.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I
From their
love that
glam,
song.
from their glamour hair metal phase, for sure.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes. I'm a big fan of Turbo, and what's the other one that they did during that time?
I
Ah,
think,
hold on, I had it here. Ram it down, ram it down. I'm a
yeah,
fan of both of those albums. Those are cheesy, amazing hair glam metal greatness right there. I love them. I love those
the,
two albums.
the
They're great.
Johnny B. Good cover is so good. I love
It's
it.
it's all right. It's not one of my favorites, but I do.
Yeah.
It's not one of my personal favorite songs from them, but I like it. Um, yeah, we'll get into it when we get to it in the ranking for sure. For sure. So number 8 for me then.
Yep.
Alrighty, this is a band that is basically ran by the guy who Metallica kicked out early on before their debut. You already know who. If you know the history between these two bands, specifically the one guy and Metallica, and he created a band that I think is even better than Metallica, and that is Megadeth. Um, they're not even really thrash metal. Like they're just like heavier sounding speed metal mixed with like some progressive, like heavier progressive metal elements here and there. Um, but they at their core, I would say, yeah, they are thrash. They're probably the most politically driven thrash band out there. Um, yeah, I love Megadeth. I just again like Alex Skolnick in Testament and Gary Holt in Exodus. Dave Mustaine and pretty much whoever is in that lead guitar position is, well, I shouldn't say lead, I should say the other guitar position, I really should say. One of the all-time greats, like him and Marty Friedman back in the day, man. You'd be hard to argue a better duo in metal in the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, yeah. I mean, from their debut, Killing is My Business, and Business is Good, all the way to the newest album, Not So Far So Good, So What, the Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. Um, there's been a couple lows, but then mostly highs for me. Um, Megadeth is still around. Dave Mustaine beat throat cancer, I believe it was, to continue to kick ass and be absolutely one of the monsters of thrash metal, and Megadeth kicks ass. They're only number 8 because I really like 7 bands this much more. I mean, it's like pulling teeth. It really is. It's tough.
Yeah, I really got to listen to more Megadeth songs.
Yeah.
Um, but I do really love one song that they did called "Peace Sells, but Who's Buying?" I love that song so
Yes.
much.
Go
Yeah.
listen to Wake Up Dead. If you ever heard that song, go listen to it. The
All right.
guitars in particular are like Megadeth. Like, so in the beginning, once he was kicked out of Metallica, Dave was like, okay, we don't have any money to hire a singer, so I will sing. And yeah, his voice is not the best voice you will ever hear. He is no Rob Halford or Bruce Dickinson or Ozzy Osbourne or Ronnie James Dio. Yes, but don't want anybody else singing those songs. And like that's just what it is for me. It's like I couldn't imagine anybody else singing for Megadeth. Um, but the guitars are the thing in Megadeth. I mean, yeah, they have lyrics, but if there's one, it's not my personal favorite song, but there's one song that I would say, if somebody was to ask me, Megadeth, where do I start? Wake Up Dead. It's guitar driven. It's kick ass from start to finish. Number 7, good sir.
All right. Now my number 7 used to be my favorite band. My number 1 favorite band used to be a few years back. But they've slowly gone down my list over the years. But I still love them a lot. And my number 7 is Led Zeppelin. Yeah, I love this band. I even got a Led Zeppelin poster over here. I think I already showed you that
Yep.
before.
Yeah, it's a nice
Yeah,
one. Yeah. Yep.
yeah. I really love this band. I don't really like the Led Zeppelin 3 or Coda albums that much, but a lot of their other albums are pretty great though.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, my my favorite Led Zeppelin song would probably be Achilles' Last Stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that
That's
song.
the one.
And yeah, great band, and it's my number 7.
My cousin is in a Led Zeppelin tribute band out here in Arizona, and they came to my town 2 years ago, whatever it was, and I hadn't listened to Zeppelin in quite a while, and yeah, man, they got some tunes. Like they got some absolutely phenomenal songs in their discography. Like I understand that when John Bonham died, they kind of wanted to be like, okay, we're done. I kind of selfishly wish they would have continued, but I get why they didn't. But what they
Yeah.
did for that 12 years or whatever it was one of the best classic rock bands of all time. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And
Absolutely.
it makes you wonder how like their music would have been if they continued in the 80s
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think it would have been different, but still have some of that like classic Led Zeppelin sound
Yeah.
as
For
well.
sure.
So
For sure.
yeah,
For sure. It would have probably done. I would honestly say, because I would say to an extent both Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin really were not the two pioneers, but one of the a few of the two pioneers of
yeah,
progressive rock for sure. And I think they would have really had I think even though they stopped in 1980, they really had a big uh both 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 bands both Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin both had a big hand in the progressive metal movement of the mid to late 80s and then into the 90s and even now. I mean, you hear a lot from both bands in even prog rock metal bands today. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I know the band Great White, they're huge Led Zeppelin fans. They even
Yep.
did like a tribute album to
Yep.
them,
Yep.
which is awesome.
Yep. Yep. Number 7 for me. Oh, this was tough. This was tough because my number 6 and my number 7 honestly could switch. These are my 2 favorite German thrash bands. And it's really tough because I love them both so much. I don't know which one I like more, but for right now, I have Kreator with the K. Kreator. I love Kreator so much. I even like their industrial stuff that they did in their industrial metal stuff they did in the 90s. The 90s were a weird time for metal in particular, unless your name was Pantera. But I don't mind it. It's actually not too bad. Kreator is just, even in the 90s they had some good stuff going on, but yeah, man, these guys throughout their career pretty much kick ass. Like, they are evil, satanic, brutal, fast as shit. I fucking love Kreator. They like I said, they could have been higher, but number 7. I want to put them higher, but number 7. I want to do those guys too, or my number 6 at some point too, and see how you like those guys, because the American thrash scene is very much so fast and heavy, and the German thrash scene is more evil and heavy. Like, it's very, very evil. Like what Black Sabbath was singing about, but like
Yeah.
10 times faster in the big
Wow.
like beginning Black Sabbath, like first like 2-3 albums. But like with the speed of like Exodus. Yeah, it's pretty good. Number 6.
My number 6, I believe, is probably the most underrated band I've ever listened to, and that's Dokken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're a great band. I think their first 5 albums are awesome. Um, Breaking the Chains. There's Tooth and Nail. Under Lock and Key. Back for the Attack, Dysfunctional, and I really love the Erase the Slate album as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a very good album. Very good.
yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of great albums, a lot of
Yeah.
great songs, and yeah, for me, um, like I said, Dokken being the most underrated out band. I think, in my opinion, the most overrated band is Queen for me.
Really?
Yeah. I know a lot of people hate me for saying that, but yeah, not the biggest Queen fan, and not really the biggest Rush fan either, to be honest.
I agree. I agree with you on Rush.
Yeah,
They're like, for like, I like prog rock and I like prog metal, but there's kind of been a line for me, and I'm not a huge fan of Geddy Lee's voice. I think it's a little too for me. It's a little too high for me. But yeah, there's some stuff for Rush for me that I've tried to get into, and I'm just like, this is way too widdly diddly proggy for me.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on Rush for sure.
And
For sure.
the last thing I'll say about Dokken is that my favorite song is probably the Hunter. I
That's
really
a
love that song. Yeah,
that's a good one. That's
yeah,
a good one. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Dokken for me is a top 3, top 4 hair metal band. They're really, really good for me. Um, I think I got to go with your poster in the back there as my favorite song, because I grew up on it and listened to it a lot, and it's fucking classic, man. I love it. I love it. Number 6 for me. God, this was tough. Again, my 6 and 7 could basically tie. I went with the other German, the other big German thrash band. That's Destruction. I just love these guys. These guys are much like their fellow German compatriots, whatever you want to call it, in Kreator. Destruction is fast, evil, heavy as shit. A couple months back, I watched one of their live sets from like 2018, 2017, whenever it was. And I was like, God, these guys are good. God, these guys are good. Their last album, Diabolical, was so good. It was funny because it was a whole new lineup except for Schmier, their bassist and lead vocalist. I think maybe the drummer was the same. I believe the drummer is the same guy too. I can't remember, but whatever they did on that last album to make it what it is, keep it up, boys. Because I liked the new Kreator. It was good, but it had some weirdness on it that really was experimental, and it was just like, okay, I get it, but Kreator, their newest album was just what you wanted from start to finish. It's just a shame that the German thrash side over doesn't get enough love over here, because it's really good. These guys, Destruction, Kreator, Sodom, and Tankard, the big four or the Teutonic four of thrash, of German thrash, I should say. They're fun. They're really good. They have some really pissed off, fun, good thrash metal that I think is very, very underrated and underheard over here in the States for sure. Number 5, good sir.
All right. My number 5 is Kiss.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
I love Kiss. I forgot to mention that I saw Dokken twice in concert, and I saw
Nice.
Kiss twice in concert. Yeah.
Lucky bastard. I now hate you for life. We are no longer friends. Goodbye.
But I really love 70s Kiss a lot. I think 70s Kiss is great, but I really love 80s Kiss as well. Without makeup, that's a great era for sure. And I think Creatures of the Night and Lick It Up are amazing albums. So are pretty much all of their 70s albums, most of them at least, are great. My favorite Kiss song with makeup is probably Love Gun. And my favorite
That's a
Kiss
damn
song,
good song. That's a damn
yeah,
good song.
and my favorite Kiss song without makeup is probably Tears Are Falling.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good song. Yeah. Yeah, Kiss is very much they're very, very close to because just traditional heavy metal and hard rock is very, very similar. There's not a lot that separates the two. And I would say that Kiss is very much so one of those bands from the 70s that pretty much was heavy metal, what heavy metal was going to be, along with Judas Priest and a few other bands in there. And Yeah, man. Kiss. People I know a lot of people don't like them. I am not one of those people. Kiss have always been a very, very entertaining band for me. Yeah, I can't wait to do that discography whenever we do it. Because it's been a while since I've gotten kissed by Kiss.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun discography to do. And I think a lot of the people that hate on Kiss, they've only really listened to the hits. Yeah, I think they should definitely listen to like some of the songs that are not hits, because there's
Yeah,
a lot of great stuff that are not hits.
yeah.
So
Just
yeah,
don't listen to the solo albums.
yeah, and
Yeah.
you you could skip Carnival of Souls as well.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
can't disagree there. Can't
yeah,
disagree there. My number 5 is a band that we just did discography for, Exodus. I fucking love this band. I love Gary Holt. I love Zetro. I love Paul Bailoff. I love Tom Hunting. I love Lee Altus. I love everything about this band. Uh, they're one of my favorite thrash bands of all time. They're my second favorite thrash band of all time. They're absolutely incredible. Like I said, Gary Holt is one of my heroes. Gary Holt is just a madman. He's a lot like Dave Mustaine, but in a very, very different way. Like, he's a lot like him, but he's really not. It's really strange. Fucking love Exodus. I fucking love Exodus. I fucking love Exodus. My number 5.
nice. My number 4, Dio. I
Yeah.
love I love this band.
Yeah.
So many great albums, so many great songs. Yeah. Holy Diver, Lock Up the Wolves, and Dream Evil are some of my favorite some of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
And yeah, my favorite Dio song. I already mentioned it in the Dio ranking that we did, but yeah, my favorite Dio song is Sunset Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
love
good
that
one, man.
song.
I think that's a very underrated song in his discography too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it's one of those that people who listen to him know, but it's not like everyone's like, oh, it's the best. I think it's really good. It would definitely be in my top 15 of his for sure. It's really,
Yeah.
really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. My number 4 is the mighty Slayer. You want the American thrash band that seems the most like the German bands. You got Slayer. I mean, much like Exodus, I think they really only have one bad album. It's the album where they kind of, where, like, again, like Exodus, they kind of did something different, and it doesn't quite work for them. Diabolus in Musica, or Diabolus in Musica, however you say it. But I have a hard time saying that the rest of them aren't really fucking good. Rain and Blood is an album that I literally can listen to on repeat for hours and hours. I spent one night, I think I listened to it 4 or 5 times in a row. Rain and Blood, yeah, it's the typical Slayer fan answer, but fuck it. I don't care. It's the best thrash album of all time. It's evil, it's heavy, it's fast as shit. It's supposed to be like 33 or 32 minutes long when they were recording it. They played it so fast it's just under 29 minutes. It's like 28 minutes and like 50 something seconds. Like, that's how fast they play. It's ridiculous. This band is from from their debut to their last album. Slayer just kicks ass. It's funny because when you listen to their debut, it's very much so like Baby Slayer. Like, it feels so different from everything else that they did. It's very Judas Priest. It's like if Judas Priest was a bit heavier. Like, that's what, and if you know the band Venom, it's like if Judas Priest met Venom. That's kind of like what their thing is, or what their debut is. And then you have um, Hell Awaits, their second album, and that's kind of more of the typical Slayer stuff. It's like Slayer got being like, okay, we kind of got that Judas Priest mixed with with our what's the word I'm looking for? Our tribute to what we love. Got that out of the way. Now we're doing our own thing with Hell Awaits. And that's a fucking incredible album. And then we have Rain and Blood. Then everything after that. And it's just fucking love these guys. I genuinely, like I said, think they only have one bad album. And I really wouldn't even say it's that bad of an album. It's just because Slayer has so many great albums. It just happens to be their worst album. Because they tried something different and it didn't really work. But goddamn Slayer. If you've never listened to Slayer, fuck is wrong with you? I'm not talking to you directly because I'm talking to the audience. But yeah, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Number
we'll
4.
definitely do the discography. Yeah,
We
for
have
sure.
to. We have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to. We have to. Oh, I didn't say because I totally it was in my mind. Show No Mercy was the name of their debut. I like had it in my mind. I'm like, wait, what's it called? Yeah, Show No Mercy. That's what it's called. Their debut. Number 3 for you, good sir.
All right. My number 3 is Van Halen. Love Van Halen, man. I love all of the Roth albums with the exceptions of Different Kind of Truth and Dabber Down to an extent.
Yeah.
Not the biggest fan of those two, but all the other Roth albums are awesome. So
Masterpiece classics. Yeah.
yeah, I really love the first 3 Hagar albums. The first 3 Hagar albums. I
Yeah.
love those ones. And yeah, my favorite song with Roth is Unchained. And my favorite song with Hagar is Pound Cake.
Yeah. I didn't really say this in the video that we did or the discography ranking that we did, but Eddie Van Halen might be the best guitarist of all time. Like,
Yeah, he might be.
the dude was just like, you could tell, even if the album wasn't the best, you could tell that he was at least having some sort of fun being a riff god, being an absolutely savant with the guitar. I mean, it's like if there was ever somebody that you could say was meant to be a guitar player, it was Eddie Van Halen. Like the guy was just like he was unreal from start to finish.
Yeah,
Like,
and even though I don't like Van Halen 3, the riffs on that album are fucking amazing for sure.
chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun though because I was going through Van Halen 1 when I first started re-listening, and I was sitting there and I like 3 songs in, whatever it was, and I was sitting there just like, Why do I not listen to these guys more? You can just tell, like, how much fun they were probably having making this fucking awesome album. Hey, what's their best album again?
Fair warning.
Fucking right it is. Fucking right it is. Much as I love the debut. Yeah, it's fair warning. Yeah. Yeah. Number, what is this? 3 for me? Right?
Yeah.
Number 3? Yeah. Number 3 is a band that we're doing next and that you already said. Judas Priest. Yeah. They have one stinker and one album I think is a bit overrated. And another album that I don't particularly like, but besides those 3, I literally think their albums are pretty kick-ass. Even the 2 Ripper ones I think are really overhated. I really, really love Judas Priest. I am very excited to do the discography ranking because it's fucking Judas Priest, man. Their stuff in the 70s, kind of like Kiss, like I said, is that proto heavy metal style that was I think their 70s stuff is really underrated. Like they have some phenomenal albums in the 70s there that I think are just like masterpieces of the genre, masterpieces of that decade. It's really this is going to be a fun discography ranking because there's 50 plus years of Judas Priest and their classic band. I love Judas Priest. Not going to give away my favorite song because we're doing them next. But just know that I love Priest. I love Priest. Rob Halford's one of the best vocalists of all time in any genre. I think he kicks ass. He can do that mid-range stuff, the lower stuff, the high stuff, and fucking Priest, man. And KK down, and Glenn Tipton are one of the best guitar duos of all time. I know they hated each other, but they're so good.
I actually didn't know that
Yeah,
they hated each other.
they hate
Wow.
each from like 84, 85. Yeah. KK Downing said, yeah, like 84, 85 is when he started to hate Glenn. It was
Wow.
crazy. It's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. Like like his book and stuff. Like I have never read his book, but I kind of like I did some research and yeah, KK does not like Glenn. He does not like Glenn Tipton
Oh,
at all. At all. It's really fucking interesting. It's funny
yeah.
as hell. So yeah, yeah.
And I think wasn't correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they made the song "Victim of Changes" in the '70s. Correct?
Victim of changes, yeah. Love that fucking song. It's maybe my
Yeah, me too.
it might be my favorite song of theirs from the 70s. Like
Nice.
it's a top 5 Priest song for me at least.
Yeah.
It has to be like yeah, man. Listening to Halford do that thing live is look up Judas Priest Victim of Changes Epitaph tour online, like 2004, 2005, whatever it was. Just no, it's sorry, it's later than that. It's like 07, 08, something like that. And yeah, if you're not like Rob Halford goes to some ungodly like his vocal range is unbelievable, and that song proves it right there. Proves it. Number 2, good sir. I have a feeling we're going to have the same number 2.
My number 2 is Black Sabbath.
Who?
Black Sabbath.
Fucking right, it is my number 2 also, just like I thought.
Yeah, I love all 5 eras of the band. You got the Ozzy Osbourne era, you got the Rodney James Dio era, you got the Tony Martin era, you also got the Ian Gillan and Glenn Hughes, I believe. Yeah, you got their albums, and yeah, there's just a lot of great stuff in this discography. All 3 Dio albums, Dehumanizer, Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, a lot of great stuff there. Born Again, probably one of the most underrated albums ever made for sure.
It's not a Black Sabbath album. Fuck that. It's a
Yeah.
great Black Sabbath album.
The only album that they made that I don't like is Forbidden. That's literally the only album that I don't really like that much. And
It's
Never Say Die is kind of but yeah, Forbidden really the only one that I just don't listen to, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, same for me. Black Sabbath. For all intents and purposes, these guys started heavy metal. I mean, yeah, you had the stuff in the 70s, or the later stuff in the 70s, but down-tuned guitars, evil sounding lyrics, lyrical content, just this sense of dread and doom in the first 5 albums. Absolutely killer from start to finish, first 5 albums. Then you got the Dio stuff, Tony Martin, Glenn Hughes, yeah, all that stuff. I mean, yeah, man. I just re-listening to that discography a few weeks ago. I didn't need to, but I listened to a bunch of it. It was like listening to like the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Literally, it was so good. It was amazing.
Yeah, my favorite Sabbath song with Dio is I forgot the name of the song. Let me look here. After All the Dead. That's my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of the Dio songs.
That's a
And
good one.
And my favorite of the Ozzy songs is actually Megalomania from the Sabotage album.
Nice.
I love Megalomania.
Was Sabotage, that was in your top 3, wasn't it?
Top 4.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not huge on the Ozzy stuff after, or the 70s Ozzy stuff after the first 5, but Sabotage is fun. It's you can tell there's stuff going on, but it's the best of those last couple Ozzy's for sure. Yeah, I think I have to go Sweet Leaf for the Ozzy era. Dio era. I think I said something in the video, but I don't remember what I said, so I'm just gonna go with Mob Rules. Song Mob Rules. Fucking great song.
Wait, I think you said Lady Evil.
Oh yes, I did. I'm not saying Mob Rules is a bad song, or is a bad song, but yeah, I think I have to say Lady Evil. Yeah, that's right. You're right about that one. Yep, Lady Evil's fucking great. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy how much member changes they had throughout their history, and they still put out such great music for years.
Yeah.
Yes, some albums are better than others. Forbidden sucks. Forbidden's trash. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a little cough there. But yeah, Yeah, like I said, these guys, all intents and purposes, started heavy metal, and they're my number two, and they're your number two. And I will one day have a Black Sabbath tattoo somewhere on my body. I know that for a fact. My top three bands, I will have a tattoo of them. My top four bands, I will have a tattoo of them somewhere on my body at some point. Number one, we all know who it is.
AC/DC.
Yeah, the greatest rock band of all time. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of great albums. Like the Bon Scott era, a lot of great stuff in there. Brian Johnson era, a lot of great stuff in there. Their most underrated album for me is Flick of the Switch,
yeah,
which is I definitely say it's my favorite
yeah,
AC/DC album for sure. I love Flick of the Switch.
yeah.
And yeah, like just all the 70s and 80s stuff, a lot of great stuff, a lot of great stuff in the 90s as well. Kind of a little bit hit or miss, like with the Stiff Upper Lip album, but other than that, I really love like all the other albums for sure. They uh, out of all the studio albums that we ranked, that one was the hardest one for me for sure because
Yeah,
they're so interchangeable. Like
yeah,
my AC/DC list changes just all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like on the list that we made, I had a Fly in the Wall as my second favorite after Flick the Switch, and I really love Fly in the Wall. But right now I have Back in Black as my number two, and
Oh, okay.
Fly in the Wall is my number three now. So yeah,
Oh, nice.
it just switches around a lot depending on my mood, and yeah, um, my favorite song from the Bon Scott era is probably Gone Shootin' from my favorite album from Bon Scott, Power Edge. Yeah, I love that album. And my favorite from the Brian Johnson era, pretty much pick any song from Back in Black or Flick the Switch or
Yeah,
yeah, Fly in the
yeah,
Wall, Ball Breaker, all that
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Some people do not like ACDC. I'm not one of them. I love them. They are they have. I reviewed on the podcast. I reviewed the new Cannibal Corpse earlier. Like ACDC, some people do not like Cannibal Corpse. But again, I'm not one of them. They are very consistent with their sound. Both bands are very consistent. They have a formula. They do it well. And yeah, in my opinion, the best rock band of all time.
absolutely.
They're one of the best. They're in my top 15 all time. My number one, if you couldn't tell by my background here, is Iron Maiden. Um, these guys, like I said with Sabbath, Sabbath started it. Priest kind of continued it, and for me, Iron Maiden just kind of blew the door open. It's kind of like the first Halloween film that we kind of talked about when we ranked the franchise. First Halloween, you know, yes, Black Christmas was a slasher film, but for all intents and purposes, the first Halloween film was the first slasher film. Friday the 13th came out and it kicked the door open and made the slasher franchise the horror thing to do. That's why we got so many copycats in the first 3 years of the 80s. We had 86,000 to 50, 70 billion slasher films in the first 3 years of the 80s, or 4 years of the 80s. But yeah, Sabbath started it, Priest continued it, Iron Maiden blew the door off of heavy metal. I genuinely don't think they have a bad album, except for the two Blaze Bailey albums. And I just I don't hate those albums. I just don't think they're up to snuff with what Maiden was producing, especially at that point in time. Like I said, or like I've said a couple times in a couple of these vids, if your name wasn't Pantera in the 90s, you were kind of at rock bottom, which sucks. But when Bruce comes back in 2000, and Adrian Smith comes back in 2000, and they have one of the all-time great comeback albums in Brave New World, and it's so good. And they've been going strong for 23 years now with Bruce and Adrian back in the band. And they kept Yannick Gers, Adrian's replacement. From 2000 on, I like all the albums. I know they've gotten a lot longer, and I know a lot of people say it's boring, say it's proggy, and yeah, I wouldn't disagree, but Senjutsu is a very their newest album. Senjutsu, the very underrated album in their discography. It's up to my number 5. If we ever rank their discography, it's my number 5 right now. I fucking love that album. I think it's really, really good. These guys, I listen to these guys all the time. I love their older stuff. I think the first two with Paul Diano as the vocalist are kick ass. I think the first 3 with Bruce Dickinson are masterpieces. I think all the way to the late 90s with Bruce are really, really strong and really, really good. And then we get into the 2 hiccups with the Blaze era, like I said, and then they came back with Bruce and Adrian in 2000, and I could literally put on any album of theirs, even the 2 Blaze Bailey albums, and be like, yeah, they're not as good, but I still like it because it's Iron Maiden. I love this band. I mean, Hallowed Be Thy Name is maybe for me the greatest heavy metal song of all time. And The Number of the Beast album is the greatest heavy metal album of all time. This is all the Eddies, all their album covers and all that. I love this band. Listen to them all the time. They kick ass, start to finish. They're just really, really good.
Yeah,
I
we
like
definitely got to do that discography. I really need to listen to more Maiden, but I really do love Run to the Hills and 2 Minutes to Midnight. Those are
Yeah.
both great
Yeah.
songs. Yeah.
I love those songs too. I hardly ever listen to them though, because they're always on the radio. And I'm sick and tired of hearing them, but they're great songs. You won't get anything from me saying they're not good songs. They're great songs. I'm just sick and tired of hearing them because I hear them all the time. I hear them all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're great songs for damn sure. Yeah, I'd love to do Maiden at some point. That would be so much fun. So yeah, I can't say for you, or I can say for you, in a good way, yours was a little predictable because I know what you like. Because I know what you like, and again, that's not a bad thing. I know what you like, so yeah. And I think for me, yeah, my 4 to 9 are all thrash bands, and then my 1, 2, and 9 or my 1, 2, and 10 are totally different. Got 3 heavy metal bands and a new metal band at my number 10. But yeah, that's what I like. I have no death metal bands. I have no crossover bands. I have no hard rock bands, and I probably could have, but I like thrash metal. I like heavy metal, and I like Slipknot. So
yeah,
there you go. Trust me.
Nice.
Did I want to put Van Halen on this list? ACDC? Yeah. Could I have? Absolutely, I could have. But it would have been really hard to leave those 10 off for me. Would have been really, really hard. Really hard. I wanted to put Motorhead on this list. Fucking love Motorhead. They're probably like my 11 or 12. Like AC/DC is probably my 11. Motorhead's probably my 12. Van Halen's probably my 13. My 14 is probably Kill Switch Engage. My 15 is probably like I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely got to listen to more Motorhead as well. I really love Ace of Spades and Line in the Sand is another
Yeah.
great song.
Yeah, man.
And also, I think they did a cover of Hellraiser, like Ozzy did a cover of their
They
song.
I don't remember the exact uh situation, but somehow, some way, both Ozzy and Motorhead did the song.
Yeah.
Have you heard the thing online of both of them doing it? Both of them singing it in the video that was released like 2 years ago. It's
No.
pretty kick. It's pretty kick ass.
Nice.
They do a really really good job with respecting Lemmy since he had passed by that point. And yeah, man, I love Motorhead. They're so good. I mean, they're another one of those bands, man, where it's just like I can just kick back, relax, and listen to Motorhead and just have so much fun with it because they're such a fun band to listen to. Yes, again, Lemmy didn't have the most nice sounding voice, but he made it work, man. He was a kick ass bassist, man, and he killed it. He killed it. He was great. I mean, the guy literally like 2 weeks before he died was doing like a metal cruise or whatever it was. I'm like, the guy was dying and he went on a metal cruise where he performed like 3 nights in a row or something, and the guy died like 2 3 weeks later.
Wow.
I'm like, get the fuck out of here. If I'm dying, I'm probably in a hospital bed going, hey. And the guy's
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna play my heavy metal and hard rock. Nah, I'm just gonna do that for however long that cruise was for, and then die 3 weeks later. Absolutely ridiculous. Fucking love Motorhead. Fucking love Motorhead.
Yeah, I'm really glad that our lists are different because it really gives us more discographies to take a look at for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think uh Black Sabbath and Judas Priest are the only two bands that are on both of our
Believe
lists.
so,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Which isn't surprising to me because we both love those bands, so yeah. Didn't surprise me really at all. No Exodus for you, huh?
Nope.
Darn it. Or no, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. No, you're fine. No, yeah, man. No, for me, it's just like I said, I didn't put any death metal bands on here. I could have totally, but then I probably would have had like 4 or 5 death metal bands. So, and I love death metal. I do. I'm I'm a thrash guy at heart, man, and I love thrash. I mean, Slayer. I mean, my 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are all thrash metal bands. So, like I said, only my 1, 2, 3, and 10 were not thrash metal bands. So, yeah, I kind of like thrash metal just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's tough though, because just doing those bands was like I could have put Sodom on here. I could have put Anthrax on here. I could have put Municipal Waste on here. I could have put DRI or Sepultura or frickin' I don't know who's another thrash band that I love. That's frickin' I could put SOD on here. MOD. God, man. There's a lot of bands that you put on the top. I mean, it sucks because there's only 10 slots, and you're like, which ones do I put? It's tough.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think Adam and AJ should do this exact same video together because I'd love to see their lists of favorite bands. That'd be really interesting to see.
If you think our lists are different,
Yeah.
man, I don't think they would have one thing in common. I'm not even
No.
trying to be funny right now. They wouldn't have
Yeah.
any. They would have nothing in common.
Yeah.
Adam likes punk rock, and AJ likes like Elvis and stuff like that. And that would be interesting. That'd be super fucking interesting. Have Adam go from freaking no effects to AJ going, I don't know. I don't know who that is. Sorry, AJ, but it would just be so funny.
Yeah.
AJ wouldn't have a clue. Any of Adam's. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
So goddamn funny. I mean, just think about it. Adam says like the Ramones or something, and AJ's like, I don't know, like name like a '50s band like Elvis or something. It's the total polar opposite. Oh my god, it's hilarious, man. Because I mean, I've tried to get him into heavy metal, and he's just like, no, it's not
Yeah.
my thing. My dad likes it, but it's not like, you're good, bro. You're fine. Don't worry. It's just funny. Because like I've tried, and he's like, not my thing.
Yeah.
Like all right, bro. So yeah, when I found you and Adam, I'm like, people that understand me, because I could have put some hardcore punk bands or punk rock bands on my list too. I mean, 10 slots is not hard. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Definitely not.
If I did like top 10 of my favorite genre, that would maybe be a bit easier because I would have 10 slots for my 10 my 10 favorite thrash bands, death metal bands, hardcore bands, punk bands, death grind band, stuff like that, crossover thrash bands. It'd just be so much easier. But no, top 10 bands, like, I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, that's not it. Where's that fucking thing? God, where's my list? Damn you! Oh, it's right here. No, that's not it. Damn it, where's it at? Oh, it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thrash bands on my list of my top 10 bands of all time. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Shows how creative and how much variety I have in my musical taste. Not much. I can't lie. I kind of stick to my stuff. Like there's some like other stuff I listen to, but it's not like there's nothing I would ever say out loud. Be like, oh yeah, I love that. No, no. It's Britney Spears. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's Taylor Swift. No, it's not. I'm a Swiftie, everybody. No, I'm not. That'd be terrible. That'd be awful.
Yeah. Yeah. Music is definitely just gone downhill.
Oh,
sure.
it's terrible now. It's
Yeah.
terrible now. I went on a camping trip with my family a couple years ago, and I shit you not, dude. We stayed at my family, where my mom, my brother, and I stayed, and everybody else and my nana and everybody. We pretty much stayed at a scaled down version of the Jarvis house. from Friday the 13th, the final chapter, right?
Yeah.
And at least from the outside, it kind of looked like that a little bit. And my family, we were over at my uncle's place because the place that he rented had a big, giant detached garage out back. So we were in there, and my brother and my cousin that we hadn't seen in years were talking about Justin Bieber. We were all just sitting around just talking, and they were talking about Justin Bieber. They're like, Chase, what kind of music do you listen to? And I'm like, well, not Justin Bieber. Not Taylor Swift. Not country music, not rap music, not none of that stuff. They're like, oh, what do you listen to? And I played whatever I played for them on my phone, and they were like, okay then. Jason's a bit psycho. A little bit. Come on. A little bit. I'm not a little bit psycho. I'm a lot of bit psycho. Trust me, I don't listen to much else than what I like listening to.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like one day I'll be listening to all Slipknot, and the next I'll be listening to all hardcore punk, and then whatever, and then I will listen to what I do what I do, and yeah.
It's pretty much just rock and metal for me. But yeah, I would listen to like a little bit of blues, like if
Yeah.
like Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd played some of that. But other than that,
I'm a big jazz fan. I like jazz. I like jazz. It's fun.
yeah.
I like blues. I like that kind of stuff too. Yeah, it's good. But besides that, I listen to 3 genres of music: heavy metal and all of its subgenres, hardcore punk, and punk rock. Variety, the spice of life. Yeah, that's who I am. The person.
Yeah. What's your take on like pop music from like the 80s and stuff? Stuff like that.
I can listen to that stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can listen to that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's definitely better than
The modern stuff.
country. Yeah, it's better than country. It's a lot better than rap music. Well, pretty much anything's better than rap music.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a guy he was actually just convicted of shooting Megan the Stallion, I think her name is. I don't know. But there's a guy, Tory Lanez, the guy who he was convicted a couple months back, but he has a really good like 80s like pop tribute album from a couple years ago that my brother got me into, and it's really quite good. It's kind of sad that that guy's a psychopath and he's going away for the rest of his life, but that one album is pretty killer. But wouldn't recommend any of his other music. No. And another guy that I like, he's more like R&B type stuff, is Frankie Ocean, whatever his name is. I really like his voice, but really besides that, there's not much else that I will listen to in that R&B department, soul stuff. I don't mind soul music; it's okay. Are you into anime at all?
Not really. I do like the movie Heavy Metal. I like that
Oh,
movie.
okay, that's a
Yeah.
great movie. Yeah,
Yeah, and
go.
I did grow up watching the Boondocks on Adult Swim. I watched that show. Yeah.
Right. Go listen to the the soundtrack for the show Cowboy Bebop. It's actually the tattoo that I have right here. It says You're gonna carry that weight. It's the ending of the show, when the show ends. After every episode, there's 26 episodes. It says, "See you, Space Cowboy." Very last episode after it ends, it has that on it. It says, you're going to carry that weight. Just go listen. Just go on Spotify. Type in Yoko Kanno Cowboy Bebop soundtrack or whatever it is, and she's got like some awesome, like, she's got some rock. She's got some really good pop in there. She's got some nice jazz in there. It's one of the best soundtracks ever for a show. It's fucking great. It's got some Asian inspired stuff in there because it's a Japanese thing, but it's really, really good, man. Like, uh, even honestly, the intro song, Tank, by her band, The Seatbelts. Go listen to that. That's a kick-ass fucking song right there. It starts out, it's just like 3, 2, 1, this jam. I'll play some for you right now. Fuck it. It's fucking great. I love it.
You don't really care about like copyright for YouTube?
No.
No.
I'm just gonna play a quick segment of it anyway.
All right.
I think it's time to blow this thing. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn kick-ass title song right there. It's and the music itself in the actual show is phenomenal. The action sequences in there are great. Just go listen to. I'll send you the link to it. It's phenomenal.
Right.
She's a brilliant composer. She came back for the live action adaptation that they did a few years ago, and her score was one of the very few bright spots on that Netflix show. One of the very few bright spots on that show. That show was not very good, but bringing her back was a very good idea. And she did not disappoint. The show wasn't that great, but she did not disappoint. It's like AJ's face. It pretty much always disappoints, but sometimes it doesn't. Oh, sorry. He's gonna watch this. Um, fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. He can watch this. I don't care. Hi, AJ. We still tolerate you.
Yeah, I did hear about that show, Cowboy Bebop. Like
Yeah.
but like every time like I looked on like the DVD, I mean not the DVD, the channel guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Adult Swim, it always played at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So
Morning. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
never got around
Yeah.
to watching it. So
Yeah. Great show. Don't watch the Netflix live action turd. Like I said, it's terrible.
right.
The music is great, but the show is great. The anime show is great. The live action show, no. We've been doing this for nearly an hour and a half ish.
Wow.
Whatever. So I'm tired. It's almost 11:30. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed.
All right.
All right, bro. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
And AJ and Adam, we're calling you guys out to have the most hilariously different top 10 bands of all time list, even different than ours. That video is going to be, if they do it. But you
Yeah.
guys are pussies if you don't do it, because you two are fucking pussies anyway. Do it. Do it.
Starsky and Hutch. Yeah.
That's a funny shit. That's a funny movie right there. That movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Funny. That's funny shit. All right, bro. I'll talk to you later. Adam and AJ, again, do it. Do it.